and welcome back to J. Kerner for Astrology. The Aquarius New Supermoon on Friday, February 9th, 2024, occurred 20 degrees of the constellation Aquarius, a fixed air sign traditionally ruled by Saturn and modernly ruled by Uranus, indicating the beginning of a new emotional cycle that inspires us to take innovative action and radically reinvent ourselves as we liberate ourselves from old, limiting patterns and paradigms. This is due to the luminaries, the sun and the moon, in a tight, challenging, high-pressure square, a 90-degree angle, to their depositor, Uranus, which recently stationed direct, encouraging us to initiate change, social progress, and growth after a period of deep reflection while Uranus was retrograde. You're invited to step out of the confines of your comfort zone. Whenever Uranus is activated, especially under a super new moon, it brings world-shaking events. Major earthquakes, solar flares, wild weather, etc. Specifically, this new moon is a return to the eclipse energies of October 28th, 2023, August 2023's squares between Uranus and Uranus's depositor while it's in Taurus, Venus while it was retrograde through Leo with Black Moon Lilith, and June 2023 when Saturn stationed retrograde 7 degrees Pisces, which I'll explore in greater depth later on in the video. The luminaries are in harmonious alignment with the lunar nodes of fate and destiny, inviting us to align with our authentic soul purpose and true life calling. This Aquarius new moon follows Pluto's ingress into Aquarius, which occurred on January 20th or 21st, depending on where in the world you're tuning in from. This is a powerful, energetic shift, signifying the start of a new generation and a collective era of forward progress for the next 20 years, specifically related to Aquarian themes: humanitarian advancement, environmentalism, social progress, aviation, trains, space exploration, advancements in technology, scientific progress, the exchange of information and data, astrology, and society at large, as power will be more evenly and equitably distributed among the people. The core theme of the 2024 Aquarius New Supermoon involves embracing individual authenticity and uniqueness. We're daring to be different and letting that freak flag fly while we break free from the shackles of societal conventions and expectations, not only under the Aquarius New Moon coinciding with the Lunar New Year, but for the next 20 years. The new moon occurs when the sun and moon are in the same part of the sky or universe, as the moon travels between the sun and the earth. This is when the dark side of the moon faces the earth. Due to this position, the moon is unable to reflect the light of the sun back to us, as it appears to be nearly invisible. New moons feature an alignment of who we already are, represented by the moon, and who our soul longs to be, represented by the sun, which is why they are so great for planting seeds of intention. The emotions and feelings of the moon are working in harmony with the ego, identity, and individuality of the sun. This is a time to wipe the slate clean and create that action plan for a better future. Sometimes good things have to end so that better things can fall together. The Aries in me loves the thrill of a new beginning, lurking within every ending. There are no endings, only new beginnings. The new moon marks the beginning of a new cycle, and in the sign of Aquarius, this is focused on Aquarian themes: groups, friendships, networks, social progress, innovation, humanitarianism, independence, freedom, and embracing one's authentic individuality. This lunation serves to remind us of the power of collaboration and teamwork, and invites us to reflect on how we show up in our interpersonal relationships, involving the groups, networks, and communities that we're a part of. New moons are for planting seeds of intention to be harvested or completed under the corresponding full moon 6 months from now. So mark your calendars, because the seeds of intention you plant now will manifest in the next 6 months by the full moon in Aquarius on August 19th, 2024. This full moon in August 2024 will occur 27 degrees Aquarius, and it'll feature a fixed T-square focused on Uranus, 27 degrees Taurus, in conjunction to fixed star Algol, which will be a return to the lunar eclipse that occurred on November 19th, 2021. 27 degrees, 17 minutes Taurus. The week leading up to that eclipse, the 11/19/2021 lunar eclipse, 27 degrees Taurus, included a major earthquake in Indonesia, travel bans amid the Omicron variant panic, lockdown protests in the Netherlands and Austria, and 51,000 deaths to the COVID-19 pandemic between November 15th and November 21st, 2021. According to data from the World Health Organization. This full moon, that will occur on August 19th, 2024, features the moon 27 degrees Aquarius opposite Mercury, 26 degrees Leo, and the sun 27 degrees Leo on fixed star Adhafiya, a double star located in the lion's mane, related to poison, liquid fire and explosives, corrosive acids, crime, lying, stealing, and deceit. This opposition squares off against Uranus on fixed star Algol, 27 degrees, 10 minutes Taurus. This is known as the demon star, or Satan's head, in astrology, and it's seen as one of the most unfortunate stars and most evil degrees in the zodiacal wheel. Any planet that's located within 5 degrees of Algol is considered to be afflicted. Algol translates from Arabic for head of the ogre. It's located on the Gorgon Medusa's head, carried in Perseus's left hand. It indicates mob violence and electrocution. Uranus in Taurus answers to Venus, which on this day will be at another evil degree in astrology, one that's related to illness, 18 degrees of the constellation Virgo, where Venus is debilitated and where our bodies and immune systems will be weakened. I anticipate seeing dramatic forward progress between now and May 2024 as we prepare for Jupiter and Uranus's alignment in Taurus in April 2024. This Aquarius New Moon coincides with happening just hours prior to the Chinese or Lunar New Year. In Chinese astrology, 2024 is the year of the wood dragon. The year of the dragon is said to be a karmic year and a repeat of events and resurfacing of people from 2020. Let's look at some of the patterns already evident as of early February 2024. 2020 and 2024 both are leap years. They include the same Super Bowl contenders, the Chiefs versus the 49ers. Puxatani Phil predicted both years that we'd have an early spring, and we will more than likely see the same two presidential candidates face off in November. On a more personal level, I first tore my left hamstring in 2020 and recently retore it, partially, the last week of January, helping my previous employer with their new store operation, their move. In numerology, 2024 is an 8-year because 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 4 adds to 8, which is infinity sideways, the ever-flowing cycle of karma and energy. In Hinduism and Buddhism, karma can be defined as the sum of a person's actions in this and previous states of existence, viewed as deciding their fate for future experiences and existences. Karma means action. If we think back to Newton's third law of physics, it shows us that for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Karma is energy, which in itself is neither good nor bad. The energy created by an action has to be returned. As ye sow, so shall ye reap. You've made your bed, and now you must lie in it. What goes around comes around. These are all phrases alluding to karma. It cannot be avoided. Karma is neutral. It is neither good nor bad. It simply is. Let's go back to the numerology in 2024. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 4 adds to power number 8, infinity sideways, representing both Leo and Scorpio energy, the divine balance of shadow with light. On any path to self-mastery and self-actualization, one must learn to balance their shadow side, their ego, greed, fear, insecurity, anger, resentment with light, unconditional love, humility, honesty, and hubris. While we can let our shadow side side sit beside us in the passenger seat, we must not allow it to take the wheel. In Chinese culture, the dragon represents strength, luck, power, and wisdom. In Chinese astrology, the year of the dragon is the only zodiacal sign symbolized by a mythological creature. According to Chinese legend, dragons were kings with absolute control over wealth, prosperity, and water. The dragon is the 5th astrological sign in a sequence of 12, recurring in 12-year cycles, and associated with the fixed element Earth. The most recent year of the dragon prior to 2024 was 2012, the year of the water dragon. In Chinese astrology, each zodiac is associated with a specific element: metal, wood, water, fire, and finally, earth. Each time the animal reappears every 12 years, the element also shifts. If the year ends in a 0 or a 1, the element is metal. A 2 or a 3, water. 4 or 5, wood. 6 or 7, fire. And finally, 8 or 9, earth. The element wood is associated with ruling planet Jupiter, according to Chinese astrology, and wood fuels or feeds fire, while fire forms or creates the earth. Whenever there is a year of the dragon, it is believed to bring record rainfall and flooding, and to bestow natives born during the year of the dragon with great intelligence, pride, ambition, and a pioneering energy. It's believed that 2024, year of the dragon, will bring a time of innovation, visionary leadership, and out-of-the-box or unorthodox problem solving, especially to Earth-related themes, including finances, property ownership, banking, assets, agriculture, food, and control over natural resources. The year of the wood dragon is said to be particularly challenging and karmic for Earth energy placements. Capricorns, Tauruses, and Virgos, beware. Dragon energy reminds me of Scorpio Sagittarius energy, overcoming shadow and adversity on the path to self-empowerment, and healing past pain and trauma to position ourselves as healers of others. I'm going to read for you the card associated with dragon from the Pocket Animal Spirit Guidebook by Kim Kranz. Dragon, seeing one's most true self, balancing the ego. The dragon sees everything. Its essence has been with us since before our first breath and will be there at our last. It watches us navigate the external world as well as our inner world. When dragon energy is awakened, we are courageous, visionary, and can easily drop into witness consciousness. It is almost as if we are traveling with a great friend inside of ourselves. When we look in the mirror deep into our own eyes, we may even glimpse the self behind the self, the one who is watching us. This is the power of the dragon breathing transformative fire into every cell of our bodies. Witnessing this omnipotent energy, even for a brief moment, helps us surrender and let go. We let the dragon guide us. We hop on its back for a ride, and as we traverse even the most difficult terrain, the dragon's eyes see beauty everywhere. It is said that if a yogi does not see beauty in the world, their Agni is dim. Agni is described as inner fire or sacred intelligence. May even just the mention of the dragon stir the embers of intelligence within you. The dragon and the third chakra. The subtle energy of the dragon lives at the navel center in the Manipura chakra. Manipura translates to the city of hidden gems. The treasure you seek is within. Behind its gates burns the fire of our transformation and digestion. The sages believe health of the fire at the navel center is what governs our ability to clearly see both inner and outer dimensions. The dragon we see here has a pierce, penetrating, and intense gaze. Dragons are often depicted as being lizard and snake-like, although much larger in size and often with wings giving them the gift of flight. There is a dichotomy between dragons as the ancient guardians of the Eastern traditions and their raw, destructive, maiden-devouring force in Western or European folklore. The dragon possesses a little of each element. It's a creature of the earth that dwells in caves, that can swim, fly, and or breathe fire. This is symbolic of our ability to alchemize using all the elements available to us. Many patriarchal myths tell of the world order established out of chaos through the killing of a dragon, giant snake, or a sea serpent. We find this especially in Greek and Near Eastern mythologies. Many of these tales explicitly identify the serpent or monster as female or with the source of female power. This is from The Body of the Goddess by Rachel Pollack. The tradition of slaying dragons in folklore seems to be rooted in male fear of female sexuality and divine feminine power. If the dragon is feminine and linked to female sexuality, then the killing of the dragon is the acting out of the instinct to destroy that which we do not understand, what we fear, and what we cannot control. By we mean the patriarchy. Coincidence that 2023 included a Venus retrograde through the sign of Leo with Black Moon Lilith in Leo, all about reclaiming divine feminine power, such as seen in the themes for the Barbie movie? I think not. George and the Dragon and other similar stories that try to correlate the devil, demonology, and the dragon, which was used as propaganda for the early Christian church, showing their rule and their dominance over women, female sexuality, and nature. In folklore, dragons are generally seen as evil, reptilian in nature, and they're not seen as intelligent or revered like they are in Eastern traditions. To the image of the card and the dragon's piercing gaze, what may be particularly interesting is the origin of the word dragon, which derives from the Greek word to see. Dragon originally meant staring one, monster with the evil eye, and it makes me think directly of Medusa's penetrating and killing gaze. Dragons in European culture are tied to the element fire. The Chinese dragon is more closely associated with water and control over the weather, which will come up again later in the video. They are rulers of all moving forms of water, especially rivers, waterfalls, and waves. Similar to the power bestowed to one born under the year of the dragon, like water itself, dragon can be both destructive and constructive. Back to the new supermoon, Aquarius 2024. We have a stellium, or concentration of energy, featuring 5 placements on the cusp of Capricorn and Aquarius. We have vertex, point of fate, 18 degrees Capricorn. Remember, 18 is an evil degree in astrology. Venus, 21 degrees Capricorn. Mars, 27 degrees Capricorn. Pluto, 0 degrees Aquarius. And Mercury, 7 degrees Aquarius. This symbolizes our collective shift in energy as we release tired, old, limiting paradigms and structures of the past Pluto and Capricorn from 2008 to 2023-2024 and step into the dawn of the age of Aquarius. 2023 and 2024 serve as transition years and indicate a shift in generations as Pluto slowly leaves Capricorn for Aquarius, with forward progress and the age of Aquarius officially beginning November 2024. This new moon features an additional stellium within the sign of Aquarius, creating an emphasis of energy on humanitarian, emotionally detached, stoic, eccentric, and rebellious Aquarius energy. The planets involved include Pluto, 0 degrees Aquarius, Mercury, 7 degrees Aquarius, and the Sun and Moon aligned 20 degrees Aquarius. Fixed, set, air, ruling over intellect and communication, can be a bit Hermione Granger, know-it-all, ruled by Uranus modernly and Saturn traditionally. Let's talk about that Sun and Moon aligned in Aquarius. The Aquarius New Moon 2024 occurs 20 degrees and 41 minutes of Aquarius, affecting people born with personal planets and placements at approximately 17 to 25 degrees of any of the fixed signs: Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, most significantly. 20 degrees in degree astrology is a Scorpio degree, indicating a need to embrace change and deep personal transformation, as we're facing fears and insecurities head on. We're seeing the dark side of top-down structures, with many in the spotlight in leadership and the top 2% being exposed for misuses and abuses of power as they're held accountable. Aquarius energy incarnated to be on the outside looking in so that we can see what's wrong with society in order to effect the change necessary to improve it. Aquarius energy, therefore, carries a sense of alienation and often involves themes of the underdog, outsider, whistleblower, or black sheep. Why would you want to be like everyone else when you were born to stand out and be different? The Sun in Aquarius. The Sun serves as a collective spotlight of energy for us to focus on, which in Aquarius is all about innovation, individuality, intellect, information, initiating social progress, independence, and authenticity. The word Aquarius comes from Latin aqua, for water, because it's the water bearer, dispensing the gift of emotion, empathy, and compassion, flowing freely, openly, and equitably to all. It's actually a fixed air sign that's often confused for a water sign. Aquarius is the messenger, the watcher of the mind and emotions, known for its objective, big picture thinking, and stoic detachment. The pictograph, 2 zigzagging lines, represents electrical signals and universal or collective thought, higher consciousness, astrology, and the future. Aquarius is a whistleblower, born to deliver truth, which they bestow freely and openly. The day of the week associated with Aquarius is Wednesday, shared with Mercury, ruling over the lower mind. The color associated with Aquarius is electric blue. Aquarius marches to the beat of its own drum while inventing unique tunes along the way. Although Aquarius tends to be more liberal and progressive in its thinking, it can also be very fixed or set in its thinking, making it very difficult for them to change their stance on certain things. Problems arise for Aquarius when we become overly attached, fixed, or set on our ideas, beliefs, or expectations. Aquarius may fear losing their authentic identity or fear becoming what others expect or want them to be, forcing them to, like the wolf we mentioned in the previous video, break free from the pack for a time. Aquarius is likely to have friends all over the world, from all walks of life, in all shapes, sizes, and colors. And it may, itself, speak multiple different languages. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus and wired to avoid boredom and complacency by embracing sudden change, and sudden change is often the theme in an Aquarius's life. Aquarius has a personality that's characterized by a system of paradoxes. Although they are friendly and well-liked, Aquarius loves alone time and tends to be reserved and detached. Although Aquarius loves to travel, it's also a huge homebody. Aquarius may also be involved in 2 distinct but very different areas of work. Moon in Aquarius. The moon in astrology represents who we already are on a deep personal and emotional level. Moon in Aquarius bestows clear logic, coupled with altruistic ideals. Moon in Aquarius is idealistic, humanitarian, stoic, creative, progressive, intuitive, future-focused, and interested in all things unknown. It can be fixed or set in its ways and opinions. Both the sun and moon are in the 3rd, final decan of Aquarius, which is ruled by Uranus, the planet of sudden change, reversal, and revolution, and sub-ruled by Venus. This gives a strong Venusian or Libra flavor to the energy, and makes the final decan of Aquarius the most artistic, creative, and people-oriented of the 3 decans of Aquarius, blending a love of travel and adventure familiar to those born between February 9th and February 18th. Take a closer look at the planetary rulers and follow their energy trails. Aquarius placements answer modernly to Uranus, which is 19 degrees Taurus, indicating a major shift in values as we break free from old, outdated financial systems for the collective greater good. Uranus was the final planet to station direct, which indicates forward progress. In Taurus, it answers to Venus, which is in the late degrees of Capricorn, closing in on Mars. This new moon squares off against its depositor, Uranus in Taurus, which I'll get into in greater detail later on. It's all about not everyone being on the same path, and that being okay. Because we're headed to a future where we focus on how we're universally similar, not different or separate. Saturn, co-present with Neptune in Pisces. This is all about a collective great awakening as illusions and delusions shatter. There's a lot going on behind the scenes that is not in the light of consciousness, at least not yet. Neptune is Poseidon, the god of the sea. So we can continue to anticipate global flooding, atmospheric rivers, and sea-related news and events, such as the tragic Titan submersible implosion on June 18th, 2023, and the possible discovery of Amelia Earhart's missing plane 16,000 feet below the ocean's surface. As the ongoing conflicts continue to escalate, you may notice the involvement of key waterways. The Suez Canal connecting the Mediterranean and Red Seas, where 33% of global shipping connects through this key waterway. The Black Sea bordering Ukraine and Russia, fundamental in the transport of grain and oil. And conflict in the Taiwan Strait, bordering China and Taiwan. Saturn in Pisces brings attention and tests to our overall emotional well-being, especially as it relates to emotional avoidance and addictive patterns. I've noticed a lot of relapses happening around either people I know directly or people that those people know. Look out for relapses. We're facing tests to our spiritual practices, our need for rest and recuperation, our dreams, visions, and ideals, our boundaries, and our balance of empathy and compassion with logic. By the end of this 2.5-year transit, Saturn in Pisces ultimately wants you to turn those dreams into a reality through consistent effort applied over time. At the time of this Aquarius New Moon 2024, Saturn is 7.5 degrees Pisces, conjunct dwarf planet Gong Gong, named for Chinese water god, depicted in Chinese folklore as having a human head with red hair and a serpent's body, very similar to a dragon. In Chinese mythology and folklore, Gong Gong was responsible for creating catastrophe and chaos, especially related to flooding and maintaining control of the rivers, much like how China constructed massive dams to control water flow and to weaponize water. In astrology, dwarf planet Gong Gong represents major turning points and the consequence of our choices. This affected mutable placements 2 to 12 degrees of the mutable signs: Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. Most significantly, especially anyone with their natal Saturn in Pisces who is experiencing a Saturn return. Saturn returns every 29.5 years, coinciding with the quarter life, midlife, and three-quarter life crises. Saturn was most recently in Pisces during the following timeframes: from May 1993 to April 1996, March 1964 to March 1967, February 1935 to January 1938. So if you were born during one of those aforementioned timeframes, congratulations and good luck to you on your Saturn return. While not an easy time, by the end of it, you will have tapped into the energies of your North Node, your fate and destiny, and be on track to your true life calling. Saturn, 7.5 degrees Pisces, is a return to June 2023, when Saturn stationed retrograde at the 7th degree of Pisces. Thinking back to June 2023, the first thing that comes to my mind is the wildfire that started on May 27th, 2023, and ultimately burned 18.5 million hectares of land, making 2023 the worst wildfire season ever recorded. At the time of this recording in early February 2024, a huge wildfire in Chile has claimed 131 plus lives. This will also be a return to February 26th, 2015, when the Sun and Neptune aligned 7 degrees Pisces, speaking to a duty to speak up about things that others will not. Sabian symbolism for 7.5 degrees Pisces rounds to 8 degrees Pisces. A girl blowing a bugle. This symbolizes rebelliousness as a sign of coming change. It's symbolic of a wake-up call and a call to action. Times are changing fast, and those of us who can see it or intuit it are called to announce it to those who are summoned to follow. Despite its appearances, the rebel, outsider, underdog, whistleblower, or black sheep often serves the needs of the society or community it's a part of far more than the sheep or the herd. We are sounding the bugle, the wake-up call, as the collective taps into their own awareness of what's going on. Let's explore the Sabian symbolism for 20 degrees, 41 minutes Aquarius, which rounds to 21 degrees Aquarius. A woman disappointed and disillusioned. The keyword here is clearance. The theme, a long and winding road, which makes me think of The Long and Winding Road, the Beatles' final #1 hit, which is a bittersweet song capturing the dichotomy between sadness and hope, the beautiful new beginning that lurks within every ending. Paul McCartney wrote this song in 1968, inspired by growing tension amid the band. We're releasing attachment to materialism, especially over-attachment to things like materialism and instant gratification, and I'm hearing Dust Yourself Off and Try It Again, song lyrics from Try It Again by Aaliyah. Rest in peace. This speaks to our resilience and our fortitude. Nana Korobi Ya Oki, 7 falls, 8 rises. And it means fall down 7 times, stand up 8. This Japanese proverb is all about resilience, the ability to keep going no matter what, no matter how many times you fall. It's about not giving up no matter how hard things can get. When one door closes, another opens. The tarot card associated with Aquarius energy is the Star card, which is all about wish fulfillment. It appears as confirmation that you're on the right path. The answer you seek lies within. I'm hearing a dream is a wish your heart makes. Pluto in Aquarius. Pluto is the collective psyche. Pluto intensifies the energy of wherever it's placed in a chart, and it indicates where we're collectively transforming. 0 degrees is a critical degree representing the purest form of that sign's energy. We're facing our fears and insecurities head on. You might have noticed early 2024, we're already hearing about various cities across the United States trying universal basic income. We're seeing a lot about artificial intelligence, both 2023 and 2024. Neuralink has been approved for human trials. The latest iPhone update now can mark texts, at least at the time of this video, as unread, something I've been trying to manifest for years. As someone who treats their text messages like email, we're seeing themes of environmentalism, booming demand for secondhand clothing and accessories like handbags. And there's a collective shift toward greater awareness around the costs of fast fashion and wasteful materialism. Mercury in Aquarius. Mercury in Aquarius has a shock factor, and it's all about embracing change, opening the mind, and trusting our intuition as we navigate unknown territory. Aquarius is big picture, out-of-the-box thinking, so you're invited to step outside of yourself and become the watcher and observer of your own mind, as you, like the great Stoics before you, Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, detach from expectation and emotion. This is a time to give our emotions a break as we lean into objective detachment from the past, especially destructive or limiting patterns of thinking and behavior that hold us back from a better tomorrow. This is all about walking a mile in another person's moccasins as we try on different perspectives, mindsets, and communication styles. This is also a great transit for learning a foreign language, as Mercury in Aquarius is quite adept at doing so. The planetary ruler for Mercury in Aquarius is Uranus, which rules the higher mind, sudden change, reversals, and innovation. So be on the lookout for technological advancements, social progress, and ideas that benefit the greater collective, especially in the fields of agriculture and banking over the next few months as Jupiter closes in on Uranus to align April 2024. Let's explore the aspects. Depending on whether or not you include the asteroids and dwarf planets in your analysis, the shape of the chart of the Aquarius New Moon can be considered a bucket shape or a bundle shape. The bucket shape is characterized by all of the planets situated within one half of the chart, with one planet standing alone in opposition. This indicates a single-minded focus toward achieving a goal amid conflict and crisis. We're experiencing a collective great awakening, exploring new ventures and opportunities, and seeing things from a new perspective after a period of reflection, specifically on our long-term commitments, relationships, and business partnerships. We're drawn to faith and spirituality as we experience tests to self-mastery and are challenged to live and let God, to trust in divine timing. The bundle shape of the chart of the Aquarius New Moon, depending on how you interpret it and which asteroids and dwarf planets you include, indicates an intense focus on one area of life, often at the exclusion or expense of other areas of our lives. The fixed mode is the dominant mode amid the inner planets, affecting us collectively on a deep personal level and also indicating a need to balance and adapt to change. Let's explore the aspects to the luminaries, the new moon, the moon and sun aligned 20 degrees Aquarius. This new moon clashes with its modern planetary ruler, Uranus, in a harsh square or 90-degree angle, which brings rebellious, fight for your rights, sudden, progressive, and innovative energy. Be on alert for the pitfalls or shadow of Aquarius energy, which can be overly stubborn, set, or narrow in its ways, opinions, and focus. Aquarius is a fixed air sign after all, with the element air ruling over intellect and communication. Squares indicate a need to integrate two seemingly conflicting energy patterns by creating immense internal pressure. In this case, we're called to balance the concentration of energy in Aquarius with Uranus in Taurus, which can be particularly resistant to change. Uranus in Taurus is an uncomfortable position because Uranus is considered to be in its fall or debilitation in the sign of Taurus, due to being opposite its sign of exaltation, Scorpio. Taurus is a fixed earth sign that's all about limiting change, while Uranus rules sudden change and reversal. Uranus in Taurus, especially in challenging aspect to this Aquarius new moon, wants you to not get too comfortable or become complacent, because change is the only constant. The transit of Uranus in Taurus from 2018 to 2026 is all about lifting the shackles of stagnation and complacency as we exit our comfort zones and adapt to change for the better. Life begins just outside your comfort zone. This transit seeks to rock the foundations of Taurus-ruled areas, including agriculture, finance, banking systems, material possessions, property and assets, and even our self-esteem, which many Homo sapiens tie to fleeting material success and other forms of external gratification. Taurus also rules Mother Earth and Aquarius environmentalism, so this is why we've seen increases in wild and extreme weather events from 2018 to 2026, with flooding a continued theme for 2023 to 2026, due to the co-presence of Saturn and Neptune in Pisces, sextiling Uranus and Taurus. Be on the lookout for rapid, unexpected changes and fluctuating moods. Watch for impulsivity and irritability. Have a trine between the luminaries, the new moon 20 degrees Aquarius, trine south node 17 degrees Libra. This is all about reciprocity, balanced give and take in interpersonal connections. Right relationship with self extends to right relationship with others. This is liberating us from tired, old relationship habits, alliances with shadow or toxic Libra people, which are crumbling right before our eyes. We're shedding patterns of codependency and people-pleasing as we learn to assert our boundaries more confidently. And there's karma coming in for using people or manipulating them for selfish gain. You can't please them all, so start by doing what's aligned with integrity and best for yourself. We have a sextile between the north node of fate and destiny and the new moon. This north node of fate and destiny, 17 degrees Aries conjunct Chiron, asteroid of deep soul wounding. Underdogs and outcasts are shining as we heal wounds to autonomy and self-reliance. Over-independence is a trauma response to childhood or previous rejection and abandonment wounding. Overcompensating by being overly self-sufficient, by proving we can do it alone or don't need anyone. Chiron in Aries from May 2018 to June 2026. Historically, Chiron in Aries brings changes to laws governing fundamental human rights and liberties. Chiron in Aries is all about initiating action to break free from perceived limitations by first overcoming faulty beliefs of unworthiness. It's difficult to manifest anything if you don't believe you are fundamentally worthy of it. Chiron in Aries encourages us to take action and speak up against inequity and to be our authentic selves. The last time Chiron was in Aries brought us the Roaring Twenties and Prohibition. We have a grand Earth trine between Uranus and Taurus, Juno retrograde and Black Moon Lilith in Virgo, and Venus in Capricorn. A grand Earth trine is a special and rare chart pattern involving an equilateral triangle formed between 3 points. This indicates a harmonious flow of energy between the planets and asteroids involved, as they are all in the same element. In this case, the element is Earth, involving placements in the sign of Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn. Grand Earth trines are all about structure and laying foundations, bestowing a practical, grounded, and centered energy. This pattern is excellent for manifesting material success and bringing ideas to 3D reality. This new moon features a grand Earth trine between Juno, that asteroid of long-term commitments, 21 degrees Virgo, and Uranus, now direct as of January 27th, 2024, 19 degrees Taurus. This aspect brings incoming sudden change related to a new beginning or offer that's for your betterment, but also affecting an existing long-term commitment. A few short hours after that Capricorn new moon on January 11th, 2024, Juno retrograde began through the sign of Virgo and came into alignment with Black Moon Lilith, is coming into alignment with the asteroid, with Black Moon Lilith, asteroid of where we disempower ourselves. Collectively, we are all feeling her wrath and facing relationship karma head on, as the asteroid of long-term commitment and marriage travels backward through self-critical, perfectionistic, and nitpicky Virgo. This retrograde provides an opportunity to analyze our existing relationships and long-term commitments and to rule out options. The key here is to stay realistic. Don't expect perfection and watch for nitpicking apart relationships. There's a Yod, aka finger of God, pointing at Juno, the asteroid ruling over our long-term commitments, while it's retrograde through Virgo. The Yod pattern is called the finger of God because Yod bearers, those with Yods in their birth charts like myself, incarnated for a unique spiritual assignment, as they are believed to experience a feeling of inescapable fate or destined soul purpose. Some famous examples of yod bearers include Karl Marx, the artist formerly known as Prince, and Princess Diana. The yod pattern is an isosceles triangle, a triangle with two equal sides, formed with 3 points. The base of the triangle involves a sextile, a 60-degree angle, between two of the points, while the apex, or point of the triangle, is precisely 150 degrees from each of the points on the triangle's base. The key to unlocking any yod pattern is to look at the placements for each point of the triangle and analyze the smaller aspects involved. We have the apex of the triangle focused on Juno retrograde and Black Moon Lilith in Virgo. This suggests tension between the needs and expectations of our long-term commitments and our personal identities and individual aspirations as we heal past rejection and abandonment wounding and come into greater self-empowerment, autonomy, and independence. The key here is to focus on the opportunity to strengthen existing connections and partnerships by supporting each party's growth instead of seeing it as an obstacle. We have a supportive sextile between the Aquarius New Moon and Chiron, asteroid of deep soul wounding, conjunct, fused with, and working very closely with the North Node of Fate and Destiny in Aries, which is all about overcoming abandonment and rejection wounding on the path to greater freedom, self-sufficiency, independence, and autonomy. And we have two quincunxes between the Aquarius New Moon, Juno retrograde with Black Moon Lilith in Virgo, and the North Node and Chiron in Aries, quincunx, Juno retrograde and Black Moon Lilith in Virgo. This is all about navigating tension and power dynamics within interpersonal relationships and indicates a challenge in integrating one's emotional needs with the needs and expectations of their long-term commitments and committed relationships. Now that we've explored aspects to the luminary bodies, the new moon, and modern planetary ruler Uranus, let's look at the aspects to Saturn, the traditional ruler of Aquarius energy. If we follow the energy trail, Saturn in Pisces is all about delusion and disillusionment. Saturn in Pisces answers to Neptune, the great dissolver, empowered in the final degrees of Pisces, its sign of rulership. Jupiter sextile Saturn. Jupiter is now at an 8 degrees Taurus, sextile Saturn, 7.5 degrees Pisces, with the moon conjunct Saturn on 2/10/2024 on the Lunar New Year. For those of you with Saturn in Pisces, happy Saturn return. Saturn is gaining speed, and you're sure to see these karmic lessons come into full focus over the next few weeks, and especially under Pisces season by the full moon in Virgo. Since the new moon occurs on a Friday, which is Venus Day, and since Venus is the most aspected planet the day of the Aquarius new moon, we'll also explore Venus. Venus, in the late degrees of Capricorn, is conjunct Mars. This promotes a harmonious balance between love and desire, embodying the fusion of divine masculine and divine feminine energies. This transit can increase our desire for connection and interpersonal relationships and bring heightened creativity, peaking on February 22nd, 2024. Angel number 222. Venus trine Uranus brings the urge to defy the status quo and trying something new or different, be it with our hobbies or our romantic and platonic interpersonal relationships. Be open to and expect new and exciting or surprise encounters. Venus square the nodes of fate and destiny brings opportunities to foster uniqueness and variety in our experiences and interpersonal relationships. Venus symbolizes what we love and value, while the South Node represents our past lives and karmic lessons. The North Node representing the path we're destined for in this life cycle. Therefore, we may experience challenges in our relationships, and significant relationships may come to an end so that more aligned ones can fall together. South Node Libra square its depositor, Venus, indicates interpersonal tests related to codependency, people-pleasing, conflict avoidance, and difficulty expressing love and affection. Other aspects worth mentioning. Mercury square Jupiter. Big news, Jupiter expands, travels fast, and has a shock factor in the sign of Aquarius as the collective awakens. Mercury rules media and communication, while Jupiter expands the energy. Individuals are banding together for greater control, autonomy, and financial freedom. Let's take a look at what's coming on the astrological horizon. We have Mars entering Aquarius. Mars's ingress into Aquarius on February 13th, 2024 brings an immediate conjunction or alignment with Pluto, 0 degrees Aquarius, bringing a surge of intense, rebellious, and revolutionary energy as we collectively rise up against conformity to explore progressive solutions to collective social, political, and financial issues. Mars rules our collective motivation, drive, and outward expression of energy, so we'll be inspired to speak up and out against injustice and inequity as we fight for progress and to preserve our personal rights and liberties. Mars conjunct Pluto can also indicate counter-violence as a response to violence. We have Venus coming into Aquarius. A few days after Mars's ingress into Aquarius, Venus joins the party of rebels as an invitation to reflect on our existing collective values and beliefs regarding Venusian themes: wealth, money, community, pleasure, self-esteem, and relationships. We'll be exploring unconventional and innovative ways to generate income and relate interpersonally as we feel more motivated to embrace our individual quirks and eccentricities. Venus, too, forms an immediate conjunction with Pluto upon its ingress into Aquarius, intensifying the energy. Mars and Venus will align on February 22nd, 2024 in close proximity to Pluto, intensifying the energy. The alignment is an opportunity to challenge and rebel from habitual, old, and traditional relationship and financial systems and values. When both Mars and Venus align in Aquarius, there is a need to focus on the intellectual side of our relationships as we experience a strong urge for greater freedom, change, and experimentation within our interpersonal connections. The Sun enters Pisces, where it joins Saturn and Neptune from February 18th to March 21st, 2024. As the final sign of the zodiac, Pisces season is a time for rest, rejuvenation, creativity, and endings. This is the time of the year annually when things come to a close, dissolve completely, or change their form. As with all things we do not know and cannot control, the lesson here is in surrendering completely and going with the flow. Trust in divine timing and that what is meant to be will be. As the dreamiest and most imaginative and creative sign in the zodiac, Pisces season serves as a reminder to use our creativity for the greater collective good in service to something far bigger than the needs of the self or the ego. February is a very karmic month in a karmic year, with Mercury, Mars, and Venus all forming immediate conjunctions to Pluto, 0 degrees Aquarius, upon their ingresses into Aquarius. Karmic debts will be repaid, karmic lessons will be learned, and people not aligned with authenticity will fall out of our path so that more aligned connections can fall into place. In the second half of February 2024, the Sun and Mercury each conjunct Saturn, the planet of karma and restriction, in Pisces, and will oppose the Virgo full moon on February 24th, 2024, which is all about discernment and organization amid chaos, as we're called to balance the spiritual and physical realms of our individual lives. We'll be releasing patterns of overdoing, overcommitting, workaholism, emotional avoidance, addressing weak boundaries, and we'll be facing our addictive tendencies head on. Thank you for watching the video. This is a reminder to please like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Be sure to check your notification bell icon and have it selected to all. Thank you on our journey to reaching 500 viewers. We would not be able to do it without you.